Welcome back, dear viewers. Now it's time for our second segment for today. Now we will talk about Egyptian-Sudanese relations as President Fattah al-Sisi received yesterday General Abdel Fattah Burhan, Chairman of the Sudanese Transitional Sovereign Council, and we are joined over the phone by Ambassador Gillane Allam, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So first, Ambassador Gillane, can you shed light on the outcome of yesterday's meetings?
Well, let me start by saying that Egypt and Sudan are the two pillar countries of the Nile Valley. So naturally, they should have an extension of very well-rooted relations in terms of political relations, economic relations, cultural relations, and definitely anything that happens in Egypt or happens in Sudan reverberates on the both countries. And therefore, this was a state visit, which takes a particular dimension in the relations between the two countries. So when President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received yesterday the Lieutenant General al-Burhan, the chairman of the Sudanese Sovereign Council, I think this carries in itself a very important message.
Yes.
Now, they had the round of talks and negotiations, and a private one, then a large one with the delegations, with big delegations actually from both sides, and they issued a joint communiqué at the end of the visit. So that carries, and this communiqué actually carried a long list of prospects of cooperation between the two countries, and in different areas and in different fields.
Yes. So do you think that both presidents share the same views regarding the number of regional issues and international issues, especially the water file?
Yes, of course. I mean, the water file is a very important issue because of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, so to speak, which Ethiopia actually built just 40 kilometers away from its common Sudan borders. So I think this was, and actually the Blue Nile is the main tributary that provides the main water resources for Egypt, and therefore it does affect the two countries of the Nile Valley. On that part, I think the communiqué was very, very clear and adamant on citing the importance of having a legal, fair agreement that is binding and committing, and that is actually carrying equitable sharing of the value of the water coming through the Nile. And that is, Ethiopia is very important, and I think that Ethiopia should have the political will to abide by that agreement that will affect the filling and the management and the running of the GERD or the Renaissance Dam.
Yes.
That was regarding the water issue. Of course, there is another issue that was a political issue of regional dimensions also that was raised in the communiqué, and it relates to the situation in Libya, because Libya is a country that is a neighbor country to both Egypt and Sudan, and it is facing a very critical political situation that needs to be addressed also by the two countries, since we did mention that the connection between the two countries reverberates in different ways in so much.
Yes.
And the communiqué indicated that that both countries, Sudan and Egypt, have to assist the United Nations in its efforts, particularly when it comes to the 5+5 military committees.
Yes. Also, President Fattah al-Sisi emphasized the importance of pushing joint relations forwards in all fields and on both the official and popular levels. How do you read this, and how can we increase bilateral cooperation with Sudan in the coming period?
Well, actually, bilateral relations are always very important relations between any two countries. And actually, if we return back to these two countries are very well connected by land and by water and by history. And this is why I think that also, again, the communique was very explicit on the areas of the communication. Actually, it established a very promising arena for kinds of the cooperation. I think it did call for extension of complementarity efforts in the agricultural field, increasing the trade exchange, affirming the need for electricity connecting between the two countries, affirming the importance of the land and road complementarity between the two countries, which is very important. I think actually it's existing but needs an extension and an expansion in that regard.
Yes.
It affirmed the need for a common cooperation in the security and military field. Actually, Sudan was affirmed and confirmed that humanitarian assistance will continue, that technical support for cadres, for Sudanese cadres in Egypt will continue, that the expertise, actually, we have had a very significant experience in economic reform, and therefore I think Sudan needs that, to address also that kind of reform in Sudan, and I think we can be of assistance in that regard. I think we have so much latitude in terms of potential economic and political relations. Actually, also a very important area, another area of importance is logistics and military cooperation between the two countries, because I think that political stability and economic prosperity are very important in that regard.
So I'd like to thank you, Ambassador Gillane Allam, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you for being with us. The viewers, short break, and we'll be back, so stay tuned.